In this session, let us learn the steps in multimedia production. A multimedia project can be a cartoon animated movie or an app developed for Android software or any other OS, mobile OS, or it can be any game, mobile games or anything else. So these are some examples for multimedia projects. So if you want to develop a complex multimedia project, you will have to go through all these 12 steps. The first step is conceptual analysis and planning. So in this step or phase, one has to identify the appropriate theme for the particular project. It may be an animated movie. So you will have to decide what theme, on what based theme the movie will be. Then the budget for the particular movie and the content availability on that particular selected theme. So additional criteria like copyright issues on whose name the copyright is to be registered are all considered in this phase. The second phase or step is the project design. So this is the pre-project design. So you must define the objectives, goals and activities for the particular multimedia project. So the general statements are called as goals, whereas specific statements about the project are called as objectives. Activities are nothing but the actions that we have to perform to attain this goal or objective. So in this project design, we will have to ensure that we design objectives, goals and activities to achieve those objectives and goals. The third step is pre-production. This pre-production involves 5 activities like budgeting, multimedia team selection, hardware and software selection, defining the content for the project and preparing the structure. So based on the planning and design, the previous step, it is necessary to develop the project. So the following steps are involved in pre-production. We'll learn the first step and it is budgeting. As we all know, budget refers to the cost required to complete the particular project. So budgeting for each phase or step like consultant recruitment, consultant salary, hardware required to buy, software required to buy, or travel expenses, communication expenses and publishing the app, etc. is all to be estimated in this step. The second step under pre-production is multimedia production team. So you'll have to choose your team members for playing various roles and responsibilities like script writer, production manager, editor, graphics artist, multimedia artist and webmaster. The next step is hardware and software selection. Suitable hardware and software for the particular multimedia project that we undergo should be selected. So all multimedia application, any multimedia app or any cartoon movie requires appropriate tools to develop and playback the particular application. So hardware includes selection of fastest CPU, RAM, monitors, sufficient space for storing your files, and selection of suitable software and file format depends on the funds that are available. It depends on the budget, the funds that are available for the project. Next one is defining the content. The content is the stuff, that is the original data that you need for the particular application. So it is usually provided by the content specialist to the multimedia architect who develops all this application or movie, etc. So he is the one who prepares the narration like the dialogues for the particular, supposing if it is an animated movie, he has to prepare the dialogue for each character in the movie, etc. Bullets, charts, tables. The next one is preparing the structure. The structure defines the activities, responsible persons for each activity and the starting and the ending time of the activity. So a detailed structure must have information about all the steps along with the timeline of the future action. So when an activity should start, when it should complete, who is responsible for each activity for the entire project should be decided here. And the next step is production. Once the pre-production activities are completed, we'll start with the production of the multimedia project, either it is an app or an animated movie as discussed earlier. So in the multimedia application, after the pre-production activities, this phase starts. This includes activities like background music selection or sound recording needed, etc. Text is also incorporated using OCR software, optical character recognition, where optical character recognition is a software that reads what is written on a piece of paper and converts it into editable text, the text that you can edit it. So pictures needed can be shot using digital camera, or videos that are needed can be shot, edited and compressed. All these happens in the production phase. So all these are put together and a whole multimedia app or an animated movie is done here in the production phase. So a pilot project is ready by this time. Now the next step is testing. Once you get a final product, a pilot product, the complete testing is done before the mass production to ensure that everything is correct and to avoid failure after it is launched. If it is a web-based project, its functioning is tested with different browsers, because people may use different browsers, and your app or your multimedia project, whatever you create, should work in all types of browsers. So if it is a local multimedia application and not a web-based product, so on a LAN, local area network, it must be deployed in the server for testing purpose, and it should be tested in different client or host nodes. After the testing process is over, this product is incorporated with valid suggested changes. All these changes are taken into consideration, and needed changes are to be made in the multimedia app. So after this process, documentation. So for any project, user documentation is mandatory. Mandatory means compulsory. So documentation has all the valuable information starting from the system requirement that the user needs for using this app, and the contact details in case of any queries. Email address and phone numbers are all provided for technical support or for sending suggestions, feedbacks and comments. And the last step is delivering the multimedia product. So multimedia applications are best delivered on CD or DVD or on the websites. So in reality, various challenges are faced while you deliver to internet, like bandwidth problems. When large number of people log in to download, then it will take a long downloading time. And sometimes plugins are required to play audio and video. So finally, a multimedia application is delivered in a more effective way by integrating two mediums, either DVD or CD, or through internet.